Because there's never been a track like Napa.
Of course, this year takes home $131,000 and the runners-up $91,000. Naturally, with the Tigers playing at Leichhardt, their home ground, promoters assured of a magnificent crowd, and being the opponents tonight, the biggest puller of crowds in the game, of course, Parramatta have lended plenty of blue and gold to the tally out there tonight. Well, at this stage, let's go to Graham Hughes. He's on the sidelines with Bill Anderson for any final news that might have come from the dressing rooms. Here's Graham Hughes.
Ray, it's all good news for the Balmain side. Their test fullback, Gary Jack, will take his place in the side, as will Steve Roach. There was a huge doubt earlier in the week about Roach, but also good news for Parramatta. Back in that side is Steve Ella, as is the front rower, Jeff Bugden. And also on the wing, we find Mike Eden, who'll take over, of course, the specialist goal-kicking role. And Billy Anderson, that's been sadly lacking in the Parramatta outfit.
Well, it has been, Graham, and of course in any close game you'll find that goal kicking is of paramount importance, but I think there's a great sameness about the two kickers in this match tonight. I think that Schofield will offset Eden, and there won't be much in that, but it's a game with a great deal of similarities. I think both sides have had their share of injuries over the last few weeks. They've both got very big packs of forwards. They've got fast and elusive backs. They've got good kicking games. There won't be a struck match in this one. I suppose you're going to ask me to pick a winner, so therefore I'm going to go for Balmain, but purely because of the home ground advantage.
All right, for Billy Anderson, it's Balmain. For me, Ray, it's Parramatta.
So there it is, the co-commentators on the sideline with a difference of opinion. Let's now have a look at how Parramatta came to the final. It started at Orana Park for them, a history-making night in our cup football. They defeated Illawarra 17-4. Then they beat Canterbury 16-10 in the quarter-final and Manly 23-4 in the semis. And so for Balmain, they opened proceedings this year for us with a 22-14 over Cronulla, who they defeated in last year's cup final. Balmain then defeated Canberra 20-12 and Eastern Suburbs 25-10 in the semi-final. In 1980, they played in the cup final, these two sides, easily one of our most controversial finals. At this very time, relatively speaking, a league official was telling Balmain they couldn't play certain fellows because they didn't comply with cup football rules. These were some of the highlights from Balmain and Parramatta in 1980.
Now Labors, a quick ball away to Filipano. Now it's Pringle. Pearce. Balmain streaming to the 22, a try coming up. Miranda will score the first try of the cup final and taking it right around, yes. And the crowd goes absolutely wild. Gerard. The big man. Now where's his support? Here comes one, Glover. And Schaefer did well. Sterling's in support. And the little man is into touch just inside the 22, but that was good football by Jeff Gerard. Now Morris. Corraway. Knight. Sliding it from McMahon to give it to Martin. A kick for the corner. A shoulder charge on Martin. Balmain might have gone in. No. And he holds them both aloft. A very memorable occasion for Ron Hilditch, who is flanked behind him by Jeff Gerard.
Highlights of the 1980 victory by Parramatta over Balmain. Let's have a look at the Eels lineup for tonight, and significantly strengthened compared with the one on Sunday. It's Delroy, Jackson, Muggleton, Ella, Eden, Kenny, Sterling, Price, Laurie, Wynn, Lee Beater, Mosley and Bugden. They're coached by John Money. The Balmain team, as Graham indicated, it's been good news for them today. Jack, Gartner, Schofield, Gale, Davidson, Myler, Bridge, Pearce, Brooks, Siren and Hemsley, Elias and Roach in the front row, and they're coached by Frank Stanton. We're going to a break via a recap of some of the highlights of 1986 and then back for the kickoff to Cup Final number 13.
Docking will score the first rugby league try of the new season. Sprays it out to Brett Clark. He holds it back and gets out of one, out of another, out of another. It's a try. Teasdale leading the race for the ball. I think he'll give a try.
And now it's Bugden.
Bugden. Yes! Numapo. And beautiful ball. And Linda the lock forward scores. Here's Big Bruiser Clark. He's going to score. He has. It's a try.
Looks too deep for mine. Bowie let it bounce in goal. It's a try.
That's unforgivable.
Gillespie's coming quickly, and Gillespie crunches his way with that dead ball line.
Plenty of time for the runners. Oh, and they're going to score. Yes, it's a try. Myler.
If you are now in or considering establishing a business in the Riverina region, then the Riverina Industry Development Board, in association with the New South Wales Department of Industrial Development and Decentralisation, can help you. For example, expert advice on the management of your business, as well as access to specialist support services, and in many cases, financial assistance are all available through the department's regional office at Narrandera. The Riverina Industry Development Board is committed to the growth and prosperity of the Riverina region through an increase in the number of job opportunities that are available for its people. It therefore encourages and supports not only the expansion of the region's existing business sector, but also, with local government cooperation, the attraction of new investment to the region. For further information, contact the department's regional manager, Mr. Bob Mose, or any board member. They're there to help you.
Oh, this will be the best cracker night ever, because everyone's bought their fireworks from Willy Wonka's. The Smiths, they bought a $10 bag and got a $5 bag free. And the Joneses, they bought a $20 bag and got a $10 bag free. Oh, and the Browns, they bought a $30 bag and got a $10 bag and a $5 bag free. What a night!
Willy Wonka's Toy Warehouse for discounted fireworks.
Because everyone loves a long weekend.
Got everything we need?
Budget gives you the chance of making every weekend a long weekend. Take off any time on any Thursday or Friday, and for the price of 2 days, we'll give you 3 days rental. Rent on Thursday or Friday, and you'll get 3 days rental for the price of 2. 1 day free to really help you get away from it all. Budget's longer weekend rate, driving your weekend dollar further.
You've got a friend you can trust in the car business, Hillis Ford. Hillis Ford are now offering some great bargains on new cars. Check out this new fuel-injected 4-speed S-Pack Falcon GL. This brand new fuel-injected Fairlane with air conditioning and a host of other features. This newly released family edition wagon, the family 6-seater. Or the newly released Meteor station wagon with front-wheel drive. Hillis Ford, your friend in the car business.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Leichhardt Oval for the 13th Cup Final, and in fact the 1986 National Panasonic Cup Final. And the teams are in the tunnel. Firstly, let's introduce to you the challengers to Balmain's Cup title, the Eels from Parramatta. Number 1, fullback Mick Delroy. Number 2 on the wing, Brian Jackson. In the centres, number 3, John Muggleton. Partnering Muggleton, number 4, Steve Ella. Number 5 on the wing, Mike Eden. And number 6 at 5/8 is Brett Kenny. Seven and half back, Peter Sterling. 8, lock forward and captain, Ray Price. Number 9, second row forward, Mark Laurie. Number 10, second row forward, Peter Wynn. 11 in the front row, Terry Leabeater. Number 12 at hooker, Michael Mosley. And number 13, prop forward, Jeff Bugden. So Parramatta on the field, awaiting the kick-off to the Cup Final of 1986, proudly sponsored by National Panasonic. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you now the Tigers of Balmain. Number 1 and fullback, Gary Jack. Number 2, wing 3/4, Russell Gartner. In the centres, number 3, Gary Schofield. His centre partner tonight, number 4, Scott Gale. The other winger in 5 is John Davidson. Number 6 at 5/8, Tony Myler. 7, half-back, Gary Bridge. Number 8, captain, lock forward, Wayne Pearce. 9 in the second row, David Brooks. Number 10, Paul Sirenen. 11, front row forward, Kerry Hemsley. Number 12, the hooker, Benny Elias. And 13, the other front rower, Steve Roach. And the referee for this match tonight, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Kevin Roberts. So the stage well and truly set now for our cup final. Parramatta boasting, I think, something like 4 players from their cup final team in 1980. Those players probably are Wynne, Kenny, Sharp on the bench, Sterling, and Sterling. Price didn't play in that cup final. In fact, Michael Patterson was in the team. Davidson and Wayne Pearce probably would be the sum total of the tape for Balmain. Muggleton kicks off and puts the cup final underway for 1986. Gary Jack comes away. Tackled by Mosley, Bugden and Sterling. Brooks now.
There are a number of players that have gone into this match under injury clouds, and there's no doubt that if they have, and they're a tall suspect, they'll be found out in this first quarter.
The kick is coming for the Tigers. Bridge placing it nicely between Delroy and Jackson. So Jackson with no alternative but to take it from dummy half. Outside the 22, in fact, reaching about the 25. Sterling. Oh, required to pass a long ball. Kenny now. They lost ground. Peter Wynne. Oh, solid shoulder charge by Hemsley. That would have rattled up Peter Wynne. Sterling. That came off the hand of a Balmain player. Bridge tackled. Lee Beater went in with a swinging arm. Brooks came over the top and gave him one back for his corner. In fact, it wasn't Lee Beater. Let me take that back immediately. I think it was Peter Wynne. It was. He went in with a swinging arm. He caught Bridge, and then Brooks came over the top and said, "Thank you, cop this." Bingo. Rather uncustomary action from Peter Wynne. Pearce standing there alongside David Brooks. Pearce said to me 3 times, the last 3 times we've played Balmain, they've got Parramatta, that is, have got an early shot in and scored a very quick try. He said that's something we have to control tonight. We have to keep them out and do something like Canterbury and Manly have been able to do. So Balmain gets the penalty, and Gary Schofield will take the kick for goal from 40 metres out. About 20 metres in from the Robinson stand side of the ground. I was in the Balmain dressing room, in fact, when Keith Barnes, the Balmain secretary and a former co-commentator for me on this cup final, produced the balls for Schofield and asked him for his vote of approval. I doubt that Gary Schofield knew that he was talking to one of the all-time great kickers at the time. That kick from Schofield left the boot nicely. Oh, it's a champion kick. That's a Bobby Dazzler of a kick for Schofield. 2-0 the Tigers. Restart by Muggleton. Gartner. Elias. It'll be a good struggle here tonight between Elias and Mosley. Roach. Back to the 22, Roach. Bridge. Jackson. That's the Parramatta 40-metre line. Sterling. Delroy. Put down by Price. Dived on there by Mark Laurie. So it's a scrum. It'll be a Balmain feed. 2-0 Balmain. Bridge. And defend off Sterling. He managed to do so. It was left to Jackson to make the tackle. Pierce, Sirenen, Lee Beater, Bugden and Laurie making the tackle. Roach. And a mistake coming from the Tigers. Muggleton can't handle, and it'll be a scrum. Knock-ons both ways. This will be a Parramatta feed. 33 metres out, right in front. Parramatta's penalty. It's against Balmain for not holding the scrum on the mark. It's a ruling that often puzzles me, just how the referee works that out. Sometimes a smart scrum will just go almost limp and let the others push you off the mark prior to the ball coming in and pick up an easy penalty. This is Mike Eden. Lee Beater. No doubt Parramatta will be looking to Bugden and Lee Beater to repeat their performance of the semi-final tonight. Peter Wynn, 8 metres into Balmain's area. Laurie. Well, he had the arm free. I'm not so sure that Parramatta shouldn't have got a penalty there. That Ray Price was, in my opinion, held back by a Balmain player. 5 tackles gone for the blue and golds. Sterling puts up the high kick. Gary Jack's under it. Brett Kenny had to weave a passage around the Balmain players. But it's held in goal. Stands his mark. And a 22 tap to restart for Balmain. There's the Foster's Lager replay. Brooks. That's Jack. Pierce. Win over the top, Price down low. Sirenen. 3 Parramatta players going into the tackle. Wynn, Lee Beater and Price. Bridge. This kick more or less straight down the ground, coming back into Mick Delroy. And Parramatta now to bring it out from their own 22. We've reached the 8-minute mark in the first quarter. Steve Ella. From here, it looks a windless night, Graham. Is that an accurate assessment?
Not a breath of wind down here on the field. A strong kicking game right throughout this match from both sides. We'll see. A little bit dubious, though, the way they've used their kicking game. Gary Bridge and Peter Sterling, of course, in the early minutes nearly had a kick charge down. It's all right for these players to charge downfield, hoping to pin the opposition fullbacks are in their own 22. But if they leave their kickers posted, with the number of charge downs we've seen already in 1986, one of these teams really could get caught out.
Here's Gardner. Bridge. Schofield. Gale has put it down. Kenny can't handle. Gale comes back with it, so it'll be a scrum, and he'll play the knock-on against Balmain. Touch judge to make a report. (2-0 in favour of Balmain. 9-minute marker first quarter.
This is a Captain Snooze feather-down quilt. It's light and warm, just as warm as 2 double woolen blankets. What a weighty proposition. For the Captain's feather-down quilt, you pay only $55. For the same warmth in wool, you can pay around $150. So lose weight with a feather-down quilt for $55 and have a good night from Captain Snooze.
You can dine every day of the week in the comfort and style of the Wagga RSL Club's Bistro or Ambassador Palace Chinese restaurant. Or take the children to the family smorgasbord on Friday and Sunday nights at 6 p.m. and Wednesdays at 12 noon. The Wagga RSL Club also caters for functions with weddings and 21sts a specialty. These are only a few more reasons why you should be a member of the Wagga RSL Club.
Hamilton, an Australian inspiration for the beautiful new range by Unibuilt.
Unibuilt kitchens offer you innovative designs in the strictest quality control. You can see the great range of Unibuilt kitchens, Australia's largest kitchen manufacturers, at Darlson's Building Centre, top end of Dobney Avenue, Wagga. Darlson's Building Centre, established since 1877.
During the forthcoming weekend celebration of Her Majesty's birthday, Zardo's Waterbeds have drastically reduced prices on all waterbeds. Comfort fit for a queen, with less waves than the Britannia in the Bahamas, and available in king, not to mention queen sizes. She would be most impressed with the quality and value of this fine product, constructed by tradesmen unparalleled in the colony. Zardo's Waterbeds Queen's Birthday Weekend Sale. Right royal bargains.
Delroy coming onto the pass from Muggleton. He's held just into Balmain's territory. Mosley, a gain of about 8 metres to the Balmain 40-metre line. Seems to be a huge gap between Sterling and Kenny. Twice it's been...
I think what Balmain are trying to do is to open up that area in the Balmain defence. If they stand wide, you'll find the Balmain defences stand wide with them. They're obviously looking to use a short ball off Sterling to get inside of mile of the Balmain 5'8".
Win, short ball, Jackson! Jackson! He's got 7 metres to go! It's a try! No, it's not! He's in a touch! Very, very close. As Jackson flirted with the danger of the sideline, he got around Russell Gardner. Jack came across, and even from that camera angle, it's impossible to tell, but the touch judge ruled that a foot went over the touchline prior to that corner post going. Parramatta have the ball. Jackson plays it back to Sterling. Price now, and this is Kenny. Kenny decides to go for broke. He's tackled about 9 metres out from the line. Muggleton from dummy half. Muggleton! 2 metres out from the line. Sterling. Now it's that giant of a man, Jeff Bugden. Bugden scores for Parramatta. The first try of the cup final. This was how it happened. Sterling held it back, and then Bugden took them on. Brute strength took him across the line.
The Balmain defence held back near the try line and gave Bugden the opportunity. He absolutely charged onto this ball and steamed over for the 4-pointer.
Well, just watching the replay, in fact, it's amazing how your mind works. There's Jeff Bugden, 25 years of age, an owner of a gymnasium these days, former Rothmans medalist. I was thinking to myself how Roy Simmons scored that try at Lang Park the other night. Sterling, I think, could have done it himself. Here's Mike Eden, the man that I thought should have been brought on at some stage last Sunday for Parramatta. He himself a Rothmans medalist. So will the two medalists put the first points on the board for Parramatta? There's the kick, and it's successful from Mike Eden. Parramatta lead Balmain 6 points to 2. Schofield placing the ball for the restart. We'll check the footy tab in a moment. Sterling sending Delroy out to the 22 line. Right, let's check the footy tab pool and who you think is going to come out on top of this match tonight. Here's John Croucher.
Yes, Ray, the dividend pool is an all-time record of $65,000, and over 2/3 of the entries have gone for the Eels to win this, with a most popular score, Balmain 12, Parramatta 18.
$65,000 sitting up there. And again, that very popular scoreline of 18-12 coming out. Now, Delroy is the young man injured. This was the tackle on Delroy. Bridge went over the top. Pearce was also involved in the tackle. So while a delay in play, let's go to the sidelines, and here's Graham Hughes with Ross Conlon.
No secret from this Parramatta side, Ross. They're going to throw this ball around and out wide.
Yes, mate. They got the ball, what, 3 times in their quarter so far, and they've thrown it wide every time. So they obviously must be going to play us out there.
I guess that means stop Brett Kenny and stop Peter Sterling.
That's exactly what it means, mate, yeah. But I think our base will handle it. I think Tony Myers is a great defender, and Scott Gale's got plenty of pace, so I don't think they're going to run us off our feet out wide.
Big disappointment for you to miss the cup final, but that was overcome somewhat by that first great goal of Schofield's.
Yeah, mate, I'm very disappointed to miss the game after playing in all the lead-ups. But I had a lot of confidence in Gary Schofield. I've seen him kick on a number of occasions, and he's a good goal kicker.
All right, thanks for joining us, and look forward to seeing you back on the field shortly.
Thanks, mate.
So Mick Delroy, Graham Richards, the trainer, lifting him to his feet. He's not with us at Leichhardt, that's for sure. He ran into a very good tackle from Wayne Pearce, and Bridge came over the top. Whoops. Delroy has collapsed. Well, Graham Richards has indicated get him out of here. So Ron Quinn, I think, will go on unless John Money decides to use Peter Ford, the replacement that he used on Sunday, as a back. Anyway, let's stay with this action as Balmain attack about 18 metres out from the line. Benny Elias chips over the top. He realises he's got the numbers on his side at this point in time, and Sterling is grounded in goal. Line drop out to restart this action. The ball bouncing in the in goal before Sterling took it. Ron Quinn has taken the field. In 15. Will they shuffle the team around, Graham? Are you aware of that?
Well, I'm still waiting for some word back from the bench at this stage. At the moment, Sterling was playing in the fullback role, and Quinn just moving out towards the wing.
This is Gary Jack.
I don't think they'd have much choice, really, but to move Steve Elder to fullback. I think that's what they'd have to do. Elder to fullback and Quinn maybe in the centres, or to 5'8" and Kenny in the centres.
Hemsley putting it down. I don't know that Parramatta have been able to take advantage of the advantage. Yes, they have. Played by Ella. So a tense moment in the match for Parramatta, losing their fullback Delroy. Ball played by Ray Price. Win. Lee Beater. Scoreline, Parramatta 6, Balmain 2. A try scored by Jeff Bugden. Sterling. That kick is going very close to the touchline and finding it. 32 metres out from the Balmain line. And Steve Ella has folded back to fullback. Quinn's gone to 5'8", and they've taken the big gamble. They've pushed Kenny to the centres. I didn't know that they would do that, Graham.
Well, John Money still hasn't confirmed that. I have spoken to the bench. Money has sent no word out where to play who at this stage. He's just letting the players work it out for themselves, and he is going to make up his mind shortly.
This is Gary Jack, cut down by Brett Kenny on his own 22 line. Bridge, long ball out to Gale. Gale tackled out there by Price and Ella. Sterling has gone back to full back at the moment with Ella up in the front line. This is Hemsley. Held by Quinn and Wynn. cross and over now to Pierce. Bridge. Sterling will take this. There's no dummy half back there at the moment. Jackson's getting there now. He lets Ella go into dummy half. So Jackson is tackled on the 22. As Parramatta regroup. Now it's Price. Gets it back out to Mosley and across to Quinn and now to Laurie. Ella. This might find touch. Does not. Jacket is going back with it now towards the 22 line. Roach. Mosley around the legs. Through Myler to Gale.
Gale's looking very dangerous tonight. He's only got the ball on a couple of occasions. The first time he spilled it when he was under a bit of pressure, but he's giving me the look as if he's very enthusiastic and prepared to try things.
The kick down the ground from Benny Elias. It's with Mike Eden. He throws the long ball out to John Muggleton. Muggleton going away from his sideline. Muggleton, of course, played with Balmain in the late 70s as a centre. This is Ella. Still going, Steve Ella, not going forward, but certainly leaving plenty of would-be tacklers behind. Here's Lee Beater. Play about 8 metres on the Parramatta side of halfway. Sterling, Quinn, and Sirinen lined him up and took him to ground. Sterling, Mosley, Kenny. Kenny with a half break. 5 tackles gone. Sterling will punch this one, I would think, fairly deep. And this is a penalty to Parramatta against Tony Myler. Obstructing the attacking team is the simplest way to put it. He mightn't have meant it, but it doesn't really matter. So 6 points to 2 in favour of Parramatta. 1 try for them. Bugden the try scorer. Eden the goal kicker. And for Balmain, a good goal by Schofield. Lee Beater. 2 minutes from the break. Bugden. Sterling. Cut out ball to Brett Kenny, beautifully delivered. This is Muggleton. Muggleton inside the 22, now in and outside the touchline. So this scrum about 15 metres out from the Balmain line. This was a good pass from, well, you didn't see the pass from Sterling. You saw the pass from Kenny. But Muggleton was heading for the touchline backwards in one heck of a hole. Bridge to work it. The second time Bridge has beaten Sterling. Here's Davidson. Price comes out of the scrum. He misses. Pierce has got him. Inside for Steve Ella to come up with the football. He throws a pass out the back for Laurie, and Mark Laurie is tackled near the halfway. Mosley the dummy half. Sterling cuts out Quinn, finds Kenny again. Good defence out there by Scott Gale. Quinn, short ball for Jackson. Jackson gains 15 metres. Peter Wynn, another 10. Jackson, another 15. And now it's gone to ground. Kicked through by Parramatta. And over the touchline for a Balmain fee. Touch judge in. Let's have a look at this passage of play. Sure what the touch judge report is about.
play a pattern of defence of left and right centres. They play Schofield on the right and Gale on the left, and what that means is their two centres are always going to be split in defensive situations. Parramatta are working on that. What they're doing is running big forwards down short lines. They're hitting at the centres. The centres can't hold them. They're standing in tackles and offloading passes, and that's causing breaks.
Well, they're calling for a stretcher, Parramatta. More trouble has fallen upon them, it would seem, and this time it's the replacement Ron Quinn who's injured. Pearce is tackled on the 22 by Sterling. The siren should have sounded to bring down the curtain on the first 20. There it is now. Pearce, Gartner, and Gartner's put over the touchline by Mark Laurie. Meantime, the Parramatta trainer is still calling for the stretcher. Ron Quinn is to be replaced. Parramatta leading at the first break by 6 points to 2. We'll be back with the National Panasonic Cup final in just a moment.
Hi, I'm Pat Reardon, and I'd like to invite you to be part of Reardon's travel network, Golden Canadian Tour.
Departing Wagga August 13, the 22-day Golden Canadian Tour will include stopovers in Los Angeles, Niagara Falls, Toronto, Sudbury, the Banff National Park, Vancouver and Honolulu. Part of the Golden Canadian Tour is your personally escorted fabulous West by Rail tour, travelling on the transcontinental train, the Canadian, and passing through some of Canada's most spectacular scenery. You will stay in first-class accommodation such as the Jasper Park Lodge, Banff Springs and the breathtaking Chateau Lake Louise, with views that only Canada could offer. The 22-day Golden Canadian Tour is just $5,289 with special rates available for single, triple and children's fares. Call in today to Reardon's Travel Network for your Golden Canadian Tour brochure.
Welcome back to Leichhardt Oval, the scene of the 1986 National Panasonic Cup final. Parramatta 6, Balmain 2. Incidentally, the National Panasonic superstar for this year has already been decided. It is a fact that Ray Price cannot be overhauled, and Ray is the National Panasonic superstar for this year and is $20,000 worth of National Panasonic product richer. Here's Gartner coming back down the ground. Now, Quinn has been taken off on the stretcher. Let's go to Graham for an update.
Well, Peter Ford in 14 has taken the left wing. Steve Ella has moved to fullback, although Peter Sterling, obviously, when they're defending their own line, will be dropping back in case of any bomb situation. And the doctors, the Parramatta camp, are checking Ron Quinn out for a suspected broken leg.
Well, what rotten luck Parramatta are having. They've lost now Delroy, heavily concussed, and Quinn with a suspected broken leg. As Leabeater comes up with the football. And it's Bugden. Whereas Bugden and Leabeater were coming on those charges against Manly and making a dent in the opposition, they're not tonight. They're being met at what we call the advantage line, and Brooks, Hemsley and maybe Pearce to a lesser extent have given a large contribution to stopping them at that advantage line.
And if the opposition defence is doing that, what you've got to do is start to make sharp yardage by ducking out of dummy half, and Parramatta have got a man in Mosley that should be able to handle that.
5 tackles gone now for the blue and golds. Sterling, that kick, it's not badly placed. Jackson's going very fast, but so is Jack. And Gary Jack has taken it over the dead ball line.
I think Jack was in two minds there. He was going to field the ball when it first went in goal. You can see him here on the replay. Decided against it, hoping it was going to go dead. The ball pulled up and he had no option but to run it dead.
Line drop out to restart now for the Tigers. Just waiting for David Brooks to get back onside. And it's Sterling giving it to Laurie. Mosley. They're on the Balmain 22. Sterling. Kenny. Here's Bugden coming very hard. Bugden gets his pass back for Kenny. Kenny has to hurdle the players. Throws the pass, taken by Eden on the bounce. Back in field goes Eden. Intercepted by Scott Gale. And he's tackled on the 22 line.
And what you had there was another example of Parramatta running a forward wide. This time it was Bugden. He ran straight at the Balmain centre, Scott Gale.
It's Tony Mark. Tackler was Laurie. Hemsley. Roach. Elias. Tackled by Wynn. Bridge. His kick will be taken by Peter Ford. Muggleton stays in the field of play. Sterling. Ella. Pierce over the top of a Sirenen tackle. Sterling. Sterling flicks it out. Mosley knocks on. He was facing, I appreciate the fact he was facing his own goal line, but in fact the way he propelled the ball, you'll see it goes forward, and in fact to his opponent's dead ball line. Bridge working it. And the scrum one against the feet. In fact, I think that's the second, is it not? And there's Steve Ella. 5 metres into Balmain's area. This is Ford. That's the first against the feed, but they've got the possession back. Benny Elias raked forward in the play of the ball and got possession back for his team.
Good work by Elias. It's something that hookers used to make a specialty of. We don't see all that much of it of late, but a job well done to win possession at a vital point.
I'll tell you something that might be going unnoticed, but Ray Price is tackling unbelievably at the moment. He's chopping down half-pie scoring attempts. He's cutting them off around about ankle height. They're copybook Price tackles that I'm watching here tonight. Bridge. He could not be run down. And Brett Kenny goes in for the second try of the Cup final. And Parramatta lead by 10 points to 2.
A great effort here.
So Brett Kenny, the try scorer. Mark Eden taking the attempted conversion. And he's missed it. Hit the uprights and bounced back. 10-2 in favour of the Eels. That's the scoreline. National Panasonic Cup Final, 1986. Apologies to Brett Kenny. The last time I think we profiled Brett, I was telling you that he was a cellar man at the Leagues Club. He's now selling cars, I'm led to believe. Here's Ray Price. Let's take a match comment from Graham Hughes.
Well, after Brett Kenny scored that try, I noticed Gary Jack was the man in pursuit. Jack struggled to his feet in the in-goal area. He received some attention from the Balmain trainer. Of course, he's taken an ankle injury into the game, and he was hobbling for some time there. That's bad news for Balmain as we're approaching the end of this second quarter. Got 10 minutes to go. He's the man that's going to launch all their attack from the back.
Sterling has to cut Wynn out. He finds Kenny, and Kenny has tackled about 9 metres on the Parramatta side of the halfway. 5 gone as Muggleton just gets the kick in. Here's Jack. And met by Bugden and Laurie. Nice duo to meet when you're on your own. Gale. Lee Beater and Muggleton making the tackle. Now it's Sirenen. And Laurie again with Ray Price making the tackle. Bridge. That kick will be taken by Steve Ella. So in a rugby league team, you're supposed to have 6 backs, or 7 backs, I should say. Parramatta now have got, I think, the grand total of about 4, have they not? 5 at a pinch.
They're pretty good ones, the ones they've got.
Kenny coming off Laurie.
Sturt. Bugden's inside him.
Muggleton. They've got numbers on the outside and the inside. Jackson in a race now with Pearce, and Davidson's there to... Oh, Davidson had a big swing. It was an air swing.
It was left to Pearce to eventually force this ball. Have a look at this and we'll see what happens to Davidson. Jackson's coming along minding his own business. Jackson goes whooshka, misses it completely, and Pearce it is who forces the ball.
There's no doubt that Balmain's defence out wide just isn't working. There are players that should be filling positions 2 and 3 in from the winger, but the players aren't getting there. Parramatta are reading this. They're shifting the ball wide and they're running into plenty of free space.
Laurie almost reaching the 22 line. 10 minutes of the second quarter gone. Mosley. Pearce has been tackling everything that moves in a blue and gold jumper.
Pearce is like Ray Price, is that when he goes in to make a tackle, he makes sure of it. The man with the ball goes on the ground and it stops any further progress.
Big Muggleton. Muggleton tackled about 12 metres out from the line.
Parramatta 10. Balmain 2. Sterling. Sterling. Ella.
Bugden. Ella. Sterling. Chance out wide. Peter Ford.
Brett Kenny's the dummy half. Win. All down, that's 6 more tackles. But knocked on by Mosley. Second scrum of the match won against the feed. Win.
Balmain under a lot of pressure here. Their defence is going to have to be able to withstand a tremendous amount of stress.
Lee Beater. 5 metres out from the Balmain line. 8 minutes of the second quarter to go. Mosley. 2 metres out on 4. Sterling. Away to Peter Wynn now. Out the back now for Jeff Bugden. Tackled on 5, 10 metres out. Centre ground. Sterling's to the blind side. Here he is. Little grubber by Sterling and taken by Gary Jack. Gary Jack with a good run. 22 metres. 25-metre run by Gary Jack.
And that was a very important run by Jack for Balmain. Balmain were in all sorts of trouble. They needed a relieving run. They got it. They could even do with another one.
Balmain's got the numbers out here. But the pass is ruled OK by Robert. Gartner, he beats the front rower. Comes to Ella. He beats Ella. He's got support in Myler. Myler. Tony Myler scores. Balmain's first try. 10 points to 6. A big inhalation there by Kevin Roberts as the ball went quickly from the Gary Jack play the ball. Now there's a pass here that Parramatta are more than querying. They're claiming that it was forward. Roberts saw it in the run of play. You might have heard in my commentary, I checked myself. Roberts made a point of indicating he thought it was backwards. But Tony Myler, the English 5/8, goes in to score Balmain's first try.
Well, such are the fortunes of football. Parramatta doing all of the attacking. Jack came up with the ball, made a break. That set them on the roll. Balmain shifted the ball quickly to the right-hand side. And there you have it, a try to get the Tigers back in the match.
1 from 1 for Schofield. That's the angle that Schofield has got from 25 metres out. And he's missed it. 10-6. No change. Parramatta leading Balmain. 3 tries in the cup final now.
There's something for everyone every day of the week at the Wagga RSL Club. A male and female gym and ladies aerobics each Tuesday and Thursday nights. Take in a game of snooker in the Sportsman's Lounge or relax in the casino room. There's the super competition Friday nights with over $800 in prizes and dancing each Saturday and Sunday nights. These are only a few more reasons why you should be a member of the Wagga RSL Club.
We put the K in Karinga, the big K in Karinga.
K is for kaboom during the Karingal Ball's explosive bargain sale. But you'd better hurry. The match has really been thrown amongst the fireworks and recommended retail price has been blown right out the door. Just by shopping at Karingal Ball, you'll have the chance of winning this top quality NEC television and video recorder courtesy of Norman Ross in the Karingal Ball's Big Banger shopping competition.
Karingal Shopping Mall.
Wagga Fern Grove are having their first winter sale with 20% off all ferns and palms. That's right, you can save 20%, but only on ferns and palms until June 9th. Wagga Fern Grove also have available ultraviolet inhibited plastic to give your fernery the best in winter protection. Wagga Fern Grove's first winter sale will only last until stocks run out. So if your fernery could do with a little renewing, come in and see us. Browse and be tempted at the Wagga Fern Grove.
If you're shopping for a screw, you can buy them from Homestead Hardware.
Muggleton taking his time placing the ball. A try coming totally against the run of play.
I thought at one point in time that Gartner might have bowled it. I thought he went probably one player in cover defence too far, but he wasn't held in the tackle, got up, was able to carry it on, and well, the result of it was a try, but it almost wasn't.
This is Gartner now, getting away from Sterling. Laurie lines him up and makes the tackle. In fact, it was Muggleton. Schofield, also a tackle by Muggleton. 6 minutes to go in the second quarter. Half-time tonight. We'll show you the 6 golden tries in their correct order and announce the winner of the beautiful Cathay Pacific holiday. This is Mike Eden. And I'll also show you the golden try from the players' version point of view. That needs a bit of explanation. I'll show it to you at halftime. $5,000 gold medal from Foster's Lager. Ball being played by Steve Ella. Sterling, win. Five minutes of the second quarter to go. Sterling, little kick by Sterling. Gary Jack a little bit deep. Sterling comes through, puts a kick in. Mosley comes up with it. Ray Price has the ball. And I don't know that Price knew it, but he had Steve Ella unmarked outside him. Peter Wynn now running in behind the play, the ball. Still going. Peter Wynn, it's a try. It's a try. Under the black and gold dot. Well, what a performance by Wynn. Had you have asked anybody at the ground 10 metres out will he score, they probably would have said no way, but he fought against the opposition so strongly. Benny Elias had him by the back of the shorts. Tony Myler thought he had him. Paul Sirenen, he also thought he had him, but Peter Wynn scores the try.
Put this try down to sheer determination and courage on the part of Peter Wynn. He could have been knocked off on any one of 3 or 4 occasions. He was caught just short of the line, reached out and planted it under the black dot.
Well, I said about this man on Sunday that nobody has had more downs in the game than Peter Wynn. And any joys, any remunerations that he gets out of the game, let me tell you, he's deserved. And there's the kick by Mike Eden, successful. The scoreline now boosted by Parramatta to lead by 16 points to 6. 4 minutes in front of half-time. Schofield's kick going down to Sterling. Ella comes back with it. This is Laurie. Bugden. The big men clashing there. Bugden and Hemsley. Little Benny Elias getting in for his chop. This is Lee Beater. Sterling. Laurie. 5 tackles gone. Muggleton will probably kick here. No, Sterling from dummy half gets the kick in. And it bounces in the field of play, so Jack goes back with it. Mosley the tackler. Down low, and that was Lee Beater over the top. Davidson. Tony Myler. Cut down by Price. Roach. Big Roach. Almost through. Sterling, the chief tackler. Sirenen can't take it. David Brooks does. Tackled by Peter Wynn. Coming over the top was Bugden. 5 tackles gone for the Tigers. Benny Elias runs from dummy half. Scott Gale gets his kick in. It's going out on the full. So just a little bit of danger here for Balmain with about 60 seconds to go.
Bad decision that by Gale under pressure to try and kick for the sideline. He should have been happy just to kick for a space and get distance. He took too much of a risk and never got a result.
The sideline comment as we get a comment from the touch judge from Graham Hughes.
Well, 16-6 in favour of Parramatta. Balmain now find themselves in exactly the same position before that try laid on by Russell Gartner, that they just can't afford Parramatta again to be the next scorers. That would possibly be the end of the football game. They're falling off tackles, that they really haven't dominated the middle of the rucks, and these Parramatta forwards are running onto the ball very confidently just prior to this half-time break.
Benny Elias penalised for packing with a loose arm, so now Parramatta, with about 25 seconds of the first half remaining, have this scoring opportunity at their disposal. Tap taken by Mosley. They hit the blind side, and this is Kenny. Kenny driven into the ground solidly by Gary Jack. Sterling. A long cutout pass finding Muggleton. Muggleton is 10 metres out. Sterling goes to dummy half, calls on Ella. Ella's with him. Sterling goes. Ella! Ella! Yes! The zip-zip man is in for his piece of the action, but held up. Roberts says held up in goal. 5 metres scrum. Well, that's a good piece of defence by whoever. Ella had a lot of vacant space to look at, but Gary Jack was the man who got him, rolled him over. That's a great piece of defence by Gary Jack as the players leave the field at half-time. Parramatta leading Balmain by 16 points to 6 and 3 tries to 1. We'll take a break and be back, and we'll give you the names of the people who've won the Golden Try Awards, and that'll happen in just a minute.
If you are now in or considering establishing a business in the Riverina region, then the Riverina Industry Development Board, in association with the New South Wales Department of Industrial Development and Decentralisation, can help you. For example, expert advice on the management of your business, as well as access to specialist support services, and in many cases, financial assistance, are all available through the department's regional office at Narrandera. The Riverina Industry Development Board is committed to the growth and prosperity of the Riverina region through an increase in the number of job opportunities that are available for its people. It therefore encourages and supports not only the expansion of the region's existing business sector, but also, with local government cooperation, the attraction of new investment to the region. For further information, contact the department's regional manager, Mr. Bob Mose, or any board member. They're there to help you.
Welcome back to the half-time break in the National Panasonic Cup final for 1986. The crowd being entertained at the moment by the Australian Rugby League Cowgirls, giving a colourful display with Parramatta leading Balmain 16-6. Just a brief moment for me to mention that earlier tonight the crowd was entertained, of course, by the Commonwealth Bank Cup final between St Gregory's and Lewisham Christian Brothers. That'll be shown just after this telecast tonight at around 10:30. All right, the viewers' golden tries for you now. I hope you had an entry in. Let's have a look and see how you went, because here are the tries now as judged by the Sydney and Brisbane press writers at a special function last Monday.
Across to Bridge, on it goes to Roach. The big man through one, on to Conlon. Oh, what a great pass! What a great pass! And into the in goal, scoring the try goes John Davidson.
The ball goes across now from Cleel, through Cox, on from Hasler. It's gone out to Cochrane, cuts them out. Beautifully picked up by Bowstead, inside the 5 metres. Close goes in to score. Close scores in the corner. Every man and his dog is applying these go-slow tactics. This is Shearer. Gurr on his inside. Outside it goes for Shearer. Here they go again. Phil Blake puts the foot on the accelerator. And it's another Manly try.
Yes, I've likened it to someone falls off a horse. The first thing you want to do or you'd like to do is get back on. So that's something we've been very keen to do.
Oh, here's trouble straight away for Tim Sheens. Brett Gale is down to the 22. He passed the ball too early, but they're still going to score. Yes, Naden. The West Centre, Ian Naden, has scored. Dummy half Alan Fella sprays it out to Brett Clark. He holds it back and gets out of one, out of another, out of another. It's a try. It's a try for the man of the match, Brett Clark.
And he takes another 5 metres of ground with him. To the left for Sterling, now to Kenny. Cut out ball, Jackson ran onto it perfectly. He left that ball a little bit late. No, he didn't. Not according to Eric Grothe, he didn't anyway. And Grothe is in to score. So there they were, and that's how the back of the envelope should have appeared, with try A at number 1, C, B, D, E and F in that order. And of course, it's time now to announce the winner's name, and of course to tell you again of the fabulous prize that's waiting for you. And so the winner is R. De Vries. I think that's the right way to pronounce it. If it's not, my apologies. From Picnic Point. Mr. or Mrs. R. De Vries, you're off to Hong Kong with Cathay Pacific for 2 adults and 2 children, or conversely 3 adults, and 10 days accommodation and $1,000 spending money, all supplied by the people at Cathay Pacific. And you won't fly any better. All right, well, of course, in conjunction with the golden tries for you people out there, the viewers, the semi-finals still counted as far as the players were concerned in their contest for the Carlton United Foster's Lager $5,000 medal. And it just so happens that the try that took out the Foster's Lager $5,000 medal came from a semi-final. Here it is for you.
He was telling me that it's something he's really enjoying.
Here's Scott Gale. Now it's Tony Myler. Back now for Schofield, then to Bridge. Bridge away from Bennett. Draws them. Gartner will pass into the middle. This is going to be a good try. Gary Bridge. Gary Bridge. Russell Gartner. Gartner scores. Oh, that could take out the golden. I'm not going to say it will, but by Jove, it'll be considered. That's for sure and certain. Well, it was considered, and it was, in fact, Gary Bridge who won that medal, the Foster's medal, valued at $5,000. Congratulations to Gary, and we'll be passing on the Foster's gold medal to him at the end of the telecast tonight. Well, down on the sidelines as the entertainment continues, Graham Hughes is now with the General Manager of the New South Wales Rugby League, Mr. John Quayle.
Thanks, Ray. John, another great cup final, some super football from Parramatta in the first half.
Yeah, great stuff, Graham, isn't it? It's nights like this that make you very pleased about rugby league when you see it. We've had a very successful year in the National Panasonic, and tonight is certainly something that is making everyone very happy with the competition.
Well, we look around again, another great crowd also tonight, and crowds up in 86 is super season for the league as well.
Well, it's been good, hasn't it? And I think when we see play that we're seeing tonight on the field, and as we've seen right through whole of our season, that's what it's all about.
Just around the corner, the success story of 1985, Monday Night Football.
Yes, already start in 2 weeks on the 16th, and I'm sure, like everyone, I'm looking forward to it, and I'm sure all fans of rugby league are looking forward to watching Monday Night Live on 10.
Hasn't been a good last week for you. How's the back?
Nights like this are making it a lot better. Waiting out here so long is not. But other than that, yeah, I'm fine.
All right, John, nice to join us.
Thank you.
John Quayle, Ray, it's nice to have a fully fit general manager back with us.
Yes, Graham, indeed it is. Well, 16th of the 6th. That's the night for Monday Night Football. That's also the scoreline in favour of Parramatta. Here's a break, then we're back.
Heating your home with gas this winter won't be cheap. Electricity will cost you even more. And oil, more again. But Canara can cut your fuel bill in half. With wood.
The new Canara Series 2 world release wood heaters. Leaner, cleaner, longer, stronger. World-class warmth and luxury for every home.
Available from Riverina Heating and Cooling by Street Wagga.
The kids on Elm Street don't know it yet, but something is coming to get them. No one knows where it came from or who it will visit next.
Whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
A Nightmare on Elm Street.
A Nightmare on Elm Street, Part 2.
Rated M commences Village Drive in Wagga Thursday, June 5th, excluding Sunday.
If you're afraid of the dark, Homestead Hardware sell torches.
Parramatta 16, Balmain 6, as we say. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the third quarter of the National Panasonic Cup final. 3 tries to Parramatta in the first 40 minutes. In fact, I thought for a moment 4 tries, but Steve Ella, as you would have seen just prior to the break, unable to get it down. A great tackle by Gary Jack. Schofield kicks off. Ray Price. It's the tackle count. Have a look how much work Balmain have had to do by comparison. 130 to 82. And Pearce, not surprisingly, topping the tackle count. Bugden. Lee Beater. Sterling. It's going very quickly towards the sideline. Russell Gardner decides I better let this go. It's a fine kick by Sterling, finding it 20 metres out. Balmain back on television on Sunday night. Against Canterbury from the stadium. Pearce. Yes, good work by Pearce, but Myler couldn't take it. And let's see where it's gone to. It's a knock-on. Just going back to the viewers' tries, I should have mentioned to you at the time, and forgive me for not, but all the correct entries went into a barrel. All the correct entries went into a barrel. That winner from Picnic Point, De Vries, was the first correct entry drawn out. Steve Ella. Kenny. A little bit of a stutter, then a dash through an opening. Floats the pass out for Eden. Eden's tackled about 8 metres out from the line. Jackson. Ella decides to go himself, but he's tackled there by David Brooks. They're 5 metres from the line. They've only used a couple of tackles. It's out to Sterling and across now to Laurie. His right ankle heavily bandaged. Gets the pass out to Sterling. He swings it across to Kenny. Big dummy, cuts out Myler. The ball bouncing badly, but picked up by Ford. And Ford is tackled about 3 metres out from the line. So Parramatta throwing it around. Here's Big Bugden going for another chop at that sideline. Try line, I should say. Here he is playing it back to Mosley. 4 tackles gone. Grubber kick by Sterling. Hemsley goes in to try and take it. He does. And a line drop out. Line drop out for Scott Gale. Straight down to Peter Sterling. It's Peter Ford. a travelling companion, Ron Quinn, taken to hospital with a suspected fracture of the leg. And I think young Delroy has gone off to hospital too with severe concussion. Sterling across now for Wynn. And that's good defence from the Tigers. They actually gained some ground and didn't have the football.
That's the area that Balmain are going to need to improve in. They played that second quarter as if they were playing a fair bit wounded, and no doubt they were, and they're just going to have to stick to their guns here and wait for something to open up, because Parramatta are giving nothing away.
This is Jackson up to the 22 line. Now 5 tackles gone. What will Sterling do? Here he is. And it's the high kick. Ella's going fast. Up they go, and Gary Jack has come down with it. Beautiful kick by Sterling and a great take by Gary Jack. That's exactly where you want to bring them down if you can. Just a few metres out into the field of play. But Jack never took his eyes off it. Hemsley. Roach. Benny Elias. 5 gone. Now Bridge. Sterling going for the charge down. He almost got a shoe in the face. In fact, he did. Gary Jack just quickly checked the health of Peter Sterling. Price out for Kenny. Kenny away to Peter Ford. They've gone ahead 15 metres. This second rower come winger. Having a picnic out on the wing. That pass from dummy half to Wynn was forward. Then he gets it to Ella. This time they won't deny him. And Steve Ella goes in to score. He comes out of it looking rather blue, as a matter of fact. But he was the man denied a try by Gary Jack just prior to half-time. But that pass from the dummy half to Peter Wynn, it was forward. I can't take it back. No way known. And Steve Ella went in to capitalise on it. So it's 20 points to 6 in favour of the Eels.
The pass might have been forward, but the Balmain defence was never set at any stage. They were still on the back pedal as Wynn charged onto the ball. He slipped a pass to an Ella, and Ella did the rest himself.
So Steve Ella with one arm blue and a couple of legs blue. $20 points to 6. 2 out of 3 for Mike Eden. And an easy kick for him now. Eden gets the extras. And 22 points to 6, the scoreline in favour of the Eels over the Tigers in the Cup final.
By Mike Eden, Parramatta 22, Balmain 6.
So the defending Cup champions, Balmain, now in awful trouble. Kenny coming back. Laurie. Ella. Whoa. Paul Seranen got him firmly in his sights and put him away very quickly. Here's forward. And they're running the ball out from inside their own quarter as Sterling puts in the kick. It's going down to Davidson. And Davidson tackled over there by his opposite number, Mike Eden. As we go to the sidelines, here's Graham Hughes with a soon-to-return Michael Cronin.
Mick 22 to 6. They've put in some bad second halves recently. Surely they can't lose this one for me.
Well, you'd think not. I'd rather be in our positions but Balmain. But you never know. The game's not over till the final whistle. But as I said, I'd rather be in our position than with Balmain's.
All the guys in the back line, they're hot tonight, out wide.
Well, they are hot. I think you've got to give credit to our forwards too. Bugden's I think is a key man to our side. Takes the ball up. I think when he's playing well, the rest of the side's playing well, but probably the rot started for Balmain was started again by Ray Price, one of our best players all year.
Yeah, and one of the critics, or I should say all the critics, will probably be coming out now and saying Balmain took a lot of injuries into the game.
Well, that's always a thing, but, you know, I think once you go on the field, you've got to be prepared to take those comments. You know, you go on to play. If it doesn't work, well, that's the way it turns out.
How's the training?
Oh, the training's all right. As I said, you know, I'm probably no closer to what I was a couple of weeks ago.
Muggleton galloping freely down to the 22. Kenny. Tackled from behind by Marla. Eden. Ella across the ground, and Mosley can't take it. Schofield to play. Pierce. Good tackle, that one by Peter Wynn. And another. Out to Gale. Mosley low. Lee Beater over the top. Here's Roach. Through Schofield, a long ball to Gardner. Forward the tackler. Wynn coming over the top. Pierce. Got under the tackle by Wynn. Evaded the tackle of Mosley. Inside pass for Bridge. Picked up from behind by Laurie. 5 tackles gone. Penalty to Balmain. No, it's a penalty to Parramatta. He's got him for handling in the play of the ball. He's ruled that Ray Price was in the marker position. I thought for a moment he was going the other way, but he's ruled that Ray Price was in the marker position. Take no notice of Mark Laurie. It was Ray Price, not in your camera or not on your screen, who was in front of him. Mosley. Lee Beater. Good defence again from the Tigers, although Lee Beater still able to get the ball away to Ray Price after Ford had handled. Bugden.
That's a big run, Bugden. He carried 2 defenders 10 metres. And another big one from Wynn. Balmain are making tackles where they're standing. They're not going forward at all to the advantage line and meeting Parramatta. They're just waiting and holding.
Ball played by Jackson. This is Ella. Out for Sterling. Here comes Price. Lost by Sterling. And dived on by Kenny. It'll be a scrum. 22 points to 6 in favour of Parramatta. 11-minute marker, 3rd quarter.
Woodlands Aquariums and Hobbies now have a huge range of fireworks, all at super special prices. A large range of exotic fish, plants, tanks, outdoor ponds and accessories. Slot cars, electric trains with all layout accessories. Model kits, radio-controlled cars, boats and planes. Go-karts for all ages, motors and accessories. A complete range of scuba diving equipment, diving courses and excursions. See Ross or Margaret now at Woodlands Aquariums and Hobbies, 37 Morgan Street, Wagga.
Hi, I'm Pat Reardon, and I'd like to invite you to be part of Reardon's travel network, Golden Canadian Tour.
Departing Wagga August 13, the 22-day Golden Canadian Tour will include stopovers in Los Angeles, Niagara Falls, Toronto, Sudbury, the Banff National Park, Vancouver and Honolulu. Part of the Golden Canadian Tour is your personally escorted fabulous West by Rail tour, travelling on the transcontinental train, the Canadian, and passing through some of Canada's most spectacular scenery. You will stay in first-class accommodation such as the Jasper Park Lodge, Banff Springs and the breathtaking Chateau Lake Louise, with views that only Canada could offer. The 22-day Golden Canadian Tour is just $5,289 with special rates available for single, triple and children's fares. Call in today to Reardon's Travel Network for your Golden Canadian Tour brochure. When it's paint you're after, come to the Wagga Liquidation Centre. 4-litre cans of paint, $7.99. 100ml tins, 49 cents or 5 for $2. 500ml tins of varnish or paint, $3.99 each. There are huge savings on car maintenance gear and car accessories. Quartz halogen spotlight sets, only $34.95. And car radio antennas, $3.98. But hurry, these bargains won't last at the Wagga Liquidation Centre, Baylor Street, Wagga.
In a position to say which selector, but I can tell you one of them watching the semi-final here a fortnight ago said, where the hell has Bugden been? For so long. You might remember the indelible mark that he made on that semi-final, Big Bugden. He's a giant of a fellow. And of course, with him in form, it gives, oh, that's a terrible mistake to make, particularly when you're down 22-6. Here's Eden back and over the halfway, tackled by Benny Elias. Mosley now. A story about Michael Eden at the stadium on Sunday. I'll tell you about it later as Price goes ahead. Bugden met by Roach, out the back for Mosley, swept across to Kenny. Muggleton coming hard, runs as a decoy, but it's a Shepherd. To see it again, to see if the defence was in fact obstructed. I'm blowed if I know if the defence was obstructed. In fact, I'm almost sure it wasn't. Brooks, tackled by Leadbeater. Bridge. Mosley the tackler. Win over the top. Good hands across now to Schofield. He fended Muggleton off, was trapped by Jackson. Sirenen brushes off one, tries to run over another, but it was Ray Price around his legs. Gale, Myler, Schofield, Pearce, Myler, Hemsley, Gale, Elias. Now it's to Sirenen. This is Gary Jack. Trouble for Parramatta, is it? Davidson can't take it. Well, Balmain really making the ball sing across their back line. Not once, but twice. And that ball was passed forward. 22-6. Scrum near the Parramatta line. Price. Mosley. I've got news for you. If Ray Price wasn't well clear in the national Panasonic Superstar points before tonight, he certainly would have been come to the conclusion of this. Laurie, Kenny about 35 metres out from his own line. Muggleton. His kick getting close to the sideline and finding it about 15 metres out from the Balmain line. Well, he's relishing this first-grade assignment that Mooney has thrown at him. I told you the story. Mooney said to Muggleton, your future in this club, John, I'm afraid, is in the centres. Grab it and do what you can with it. Bridge. Jack, Gale, Schofield. Tackler was Jackson at the second attempt. Gale. This man's done a tremendous amount of work both in attack and defence for the Parramatta team. Mark Laurie, the number 9. Price making the tackle on Pearce.
You can see here from these passages of play that Balmain aren't just putting together the combinations of play that Parramatta have been. When Balmain are making breaks, they're looking for support, but very often they're not finding it. Parramatta make a half split, and there's always someone there. They've got combinations of 2 and 3 players in every ruck.
Bridge. His kick under pressure going down to Sterling. No, Peter, be careful. You might be pinned there for a voluntary tackle. This is Muggleton. In fact, if that Balmain player had not have put his hand on Sterling, Roberts would have been within his rights to penalise him for a voluntary tackle. Here's Laurie, tackled on his own 22. Jackson. Good defence out of Marker from Gartner. Ella. Muggleton hitting back in. Sterling. Lee beater. There's numbers there. Kenny. Now it's Laurie. Jackson goes inside. Ford stays outside. Knocked on by Ben Elias.
You had an example there of the wonderful combination that Parramatta can muster. They took the ball to one side of the field and then they swung it back to the other. And on each occasion, there was someone there in support.
Basically, that's what rugby league's all about, is outnumbering your opponents. You can't outnumber them. You've got to hope for somebody to go straight over the top of somebody. Either that or the kick. This is Ford. They certainly know how to stack a blindside. Wynn. I say about Peter Wynn. Graham, give me a comment here. We've been critical of Peter Wynn running sideways. I've described him as running like a crab on occasions. But I do think he's working on that facet of his game. He, to me, looks to be straightening it right up.
Well, he certainly has in recent weeks. I think the real advantage for Wynn is that his timing is starting to come back to him. In the play of the balls, quick play of the balls mean a hell of a lot to Peter Wynn. Charges like this one here from Terry Leabeater. He's the sort of guy that if Leabeater's up and playing the ball quick, Wynn is there meeting that advantage line and gaining 4 or 5 yards head start on the opposition. He's played very, very strongly in the last couple of weeks.
Price. Back in for Kenny. There's more trouble coming for the Tigers. Cut out ball from Kenny to Muggleton. Muggleton scores. John Muggleton scores try number 5 for Parramatta. Oh, they're giving you a beautiful exhibition of rugby league at the moment. They stacked it all up across the other side of the ground with a big run by Leabeater. And then they brought it back just as quickly. They're simply backing up. They're supporting the man with the ball, and then they're floating these long balls out wide, and that's where they're really finding Balmain in trouble.
When Parramatta start to put it all together, there's virtually nothing you can do to stop them. It was Price here. He's had a great game tonight. Tremendous captain's knock. He stood in a tackle and slipped it back to Kenny. Now, Kenny had the choice there of any one of 3 players to give the ball to. He picked Muggleton to give it to, and he did the job.
So John Muggleton scores the try. 26-year-old school teacher. Product of the same junior school or organisation as Dennis Fitzgerald. Graham Atkins. Parramatta Marist. Mike Eden now from the sideline. 18 metres out. He's hooked it just a little bit too much. And so 26-6 in favour of the Eagles. Dr. Mike Johnston alongside John Money, of course, in Johnston. He's the Parramatta orthopaedic man. Heavens above, times have changed, haven't they? You've got a doctor to stitch you up and another one to have a look at your bones. And sure, oh, that's not going to go the 10, or is it? It does now, and Parramatta diver. Played by Jackson. Peter Ford. Parramatta has once taken out the cup in years gone by. That was 1980. Balmain twice, 76 and 85. There's the end of the third quarter. A lot of work in front of Balmain. Almost a hopeless task, you would think, as Parramatta go from the ground leading by 26-6.
Well, that'll be the day when you say goodbye. Hey, what's the music, pal?
It's drive time, mate. Great music for these long trips.
Sounds great.
Sounds great. What is it?
Drive time, $60 worth, for only $19.99.
Sounds great. Hi. What's the tape you're playing?
It's drive time. Rock, country, and instrumental. Hey, we get over 6 hours for only $19.99.
Drive time? Sounds great. Hey, what's that you're playing, mister?
At $19.99. Even he could afford it.
Wow, that sounds good.
Drive Time. 6 cassette pack, 6 hours of music, only $19.99 from Concept.
Dulux
Dulux introduce the first gloss that defies gravity. It removes all the drips and all the runs from gloss paint. New Dulux non-drip gloss enamel. It's the easiest way to get a beautiful, smooth gloss finish. The first gloss that defies gravity. New Dulux non-drip gloss enamel.
During the forthcoming weekend celebration of Her Majesty's birthday, Zardo's waterbeds have drastically reduced prices on all waterbeds. Comfort fit for a queen, with less waves than the Britannia in the Bahamas, and available in king, not to mention queen sizes. She would be most impressed with the quality and value of this fine product, constructed by tradesmen unparalleled in the colony. Zardo's Waterbeds Queen's Birthday Weekend Sale. Right royal bargains.
Welcome back to the final quarter of the 1986 Cup. Parramatta 26, Balmain 6. Schofield gets this match going again. Plenty of changes out there. I'll let Graham Hughes tell you all about it.
Well, they're all for Balmain. Steve Roach is off. Mike Makito goes to the front row. David Brooks is off. Kevin Hardwick comes into the lock position. Wayne Pearce into the second row. And Gary Jack is also off. Stephen Humphries moving to fullback. Plenty of people might start to think, well, why did they play in the first place? Steve Roach and Gary Jack. Let's not talk that way. Let's not take anything away from this Parramatta victory. They've been in absolutely superb form all night.
So the ball lost in the tackle there by Bugden. Well, there's a statistic that is always an interesting one to look at. The possession held count 123 for Parramatta. That's 123 tackles. Balmain 74. And if you do a time and motion study on rugby league, you'll find that the team that holds it for the longer period normally wins. Here's Balmain with Myler. Up 18 metres out. Tackled by Ray Price. Stephen Humphries. Ball across to Benny Elias. Gale. This is Paul Sirenen. Gale, Hemsley. Short ball for Pearce. Makito playing it. Schofield. Puts the up and under into the air. It's coming down nicely just out into the field of play. And it's Brett Kenny who takes it to ground, so it'll be a line dropout. Previous highest cup final win was by Manly against Cronulla in 1983. They defeated the Sharks 26-6, which of course is the current scoreline here. $131,000 waiting for the winners, 91 for the losers. Humphries. And the penalty goes to the Tigers against Terry Lee Beater. Schofield not wasting any time, finding the line just inside the 22. Through Bridge. Sterling went for the intercept. Myler got it away to Schofield. Then it's gone to ground. Now it's back with Gale. It's play on. Gale inside for Davidson, but no, he's called it back. He's called it back, ruling the pass went forward. Well, maybe when you look at it in that replay, it did come off the hand of Scott Gale and was probably propelled forward, but on that camera angle, it's impossible really to tell. Change, Graham?
Well, an incredible change here. Tony Myler is the man that's off for Balmain. Mike Perry is on in 16. He's gone to the second row. Wayne Pearce in another move now has moved to the unaccustomed role of 5'8".
Peter Wynn. Price. Ella. Oh, look at him go. 32 metres to run. Mosley. Eden. Humphries the tackler. They'll come quickly left here. Ella, Sterling, Jackson.
The one thing about Parramatta is they never try to close a game up. They never have to.
Peter Wynn.
Just got brilliant attacking players, Parramatta. They can move the ball around, but move it around with security.
Pardon me for laughing. That was probably the most unfashionable rugby league kick I've ever seen. from Peter
He's had
Wynn.
a tremendous game, Peter Wynn, but the kicking game isn't his specialty.
It looked like a Graham Hughes bunker shot. It's been spun across to Gale now. It's with Davidson. Eden's after him and got him. Schofield. This is Perry. Stay with us at the conclusion of the telecast for the presentation of the cup trophies to the players. And of course, the announcement of the man of the match. And then you'll see some great schoolboy action in the Commonwealth Bank Cup to follow the National Panasonic tonight. Forward, tackled by Elias. Lee Beater. Bugden. Still. Laurie. Gales, beautiful stuff. It doesn't matter who you follow. And we can talk about the injury-riddled Balmain as much as you like. When they put it together, they put it together. The Foster's like a replay, a simple run around, and then he comes round the corner and he runs at the next outside player. Flick passes for Ella, that straightens the attack. He's got Muggleton one side and Kenny the other. And of course, when Kenny comes on the scene with 22 metres to go, you've almost got to be Jesse Owens to catch him.
A classic backline rugby league try. This from the half-back to Laurie, who was filling in at 5'8". The run around, Sterling straightened, and that put him into the hole. He looked inside and he found the fullback Ella, who had loomed up in support, and then back to Brett Kenny, who had given even further support to the movement. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a marvellous rugby league try.
Brett Kenny, the try scorer. Mike Eden has converted the try. Here it is, in fact, the replay of the try conversion from Michael Eden, who incidentally last Sunday, Eden, the fellows on the gate didn't realise he was, there's the score, 32-6. They didn't realise he was a player. They asked him to have any beer in his bag. And as the coach said to me earlier, he said he was nothing last Sunday, a superstar today. Mosley. This will go down on record. One would seem pretty safe in saying as the highest winning margin in a cup final. Bugden. Mosley. Sterling. Kenny, and cut down by Gale. Peter Wynn. More changes, Graham.
For Parramatta, Jeremy Lillis in 16 will be going on for Jeff Bugden. He's been told to move to the sideline when there's 10 minutes to go.
Sterling goes for a drop goal. It's wide. And will come out to the 22 for the place kick restart. There goes Jeremy Lillis on in 16. He wasn't going to wait for the 10-minute marker, Graham.
Well, that was the word from the bench, but a very worthy player coming off now. A great performance once again in the National Panasonic by Bugden.
Gee, he's getting a big round of applause, the Australian refrigerator. I reckon if he was to answer honestly, Bugden would tell you he loves this four-quarter stuff.
I remember many years ago when Jeff first made into grade football and he was asked what his ambition was, he said to play for Australia. He's never done that, but it's still not beyond him.
Well, don't take my comments earlier lightly about the Australian selectors comment. Gale. A kick ahead and a regather. This is the last. Through Marquito to Elias, now Schofield. And this is Russell Gardner. The defence has got him, so he centre kicks. Eden comes across. It's an easy bounce for him. He's going to try and make it, but it's going to be a line drop.
We put the K in Karingal, the big K in Karingal.
At Karingal Video for the month of June, you get a 24 exposure film developed on quality Kodak paper for just $8.95. Plus, you get a free enlargement or video movie hire with every film developed at Karingal Video. When you're looking for family shoes at budget prices, step into Karingal Footwear. They have an extensive range of Hollandia shoes as well as many children's and ladies' styles. Go no further than Karingal Footwear for comfort and style for your feet. You're assured of friendly, reliable service at Karingal Butchery. And just look at these explosion sales specials. Tender young T-bone, $4.89 a kilo. Lean hamburger mince, $2.59 a kilo. And crumb steak, $3.59 a kilo. When your taste buds call for something different, go to Karingal Delicatessen and Health Foods. Soft yogurt in cans or tubs and Beechworth apple juice are specialties. They also have available the full range of Blackmore's natural beauty products. You could win an NEC television and video recorder courtesy of Norman Ross. The Wagga Baseball Association, together with the Prime Network RVN2, present the Tooheys Intercity Baseball Challenge, June 7th, 8th and 9th. Represented will be Wangaratta, Canberra, Orange, Parkes, Wagga and Sydney. Play will commence from 9:30 a.m. each day at both Glenfield and Bruce Street grounds, and hot food and refreshments will be available. Enjoy a day out at the Tooheys Intercity Baseball Challenge, proudly brought to you by the Wagga Baseball Association, together with the Prime Network.
Hey, Graham, Jeff Bugden's still got enough breath to talk to you, eh?
I think he's got plenty of breath. Congratulations on a big one, Jeff.
Thanks very much, Heaps. Feels good, mate.
Well, the forwards, it looks like they felt as though they had plenty to answer for after last Sunday.
Yes, mate. It was a bit disappointing last Sunday, but we turned it around. We're a good side, Parramatta. We'll win the comp. This one and the next one.
Plenty of return to forms out there also. Peter Wynn's had a strong game.
Oh, Peter Wynn, I'll vote for him for man of the match. He's playing great.
Terry Leaveaters continuing his good form.
He'll do me for a partner any day.
All right, Jeff, I'll let you have a rest.
Thanks, Heaps.
I tell you what, you're going to be hard-pressed to get any criticism out of him, of the team. He was certainly pumped up. He's done the lap of honour at the cricket ground as well as this one. Jeff Bugden. There's a hell of a lot of water to flow under the bridges yet. As Ella gives it to Muggleton, he knocks on. There's some mighty fine rugby league to come naturally on your rugby league channel. Monday night football starting on the 16th of June. And another change getting ready for Parramatta as Balmain win the scrum. Graham Hughes.
Well, their last change, Steve Sharp will move straight to the hooking roll, and off comes Michael Mosley.
Stephen Humphries to play it, about 15 metres out, right in front. Schofield, Pearce, Schofield. Tackler was Ella. That's Bridge, a long ball out to Benny Elias. Now through Gale. And a short pass to Marquito, intercepted by Laurie. And Laurie's tackle just beyond his own quarter. Balmain's ball. Pierce. Schofield. He's fended a couple of times, young Brian Jackson, and he's fended him off quite easily. It might be wise that Brian just has a look at the way he's making his approach to the tackle zone. This is Perry.
Schofield's got that happy knack of being able to keep his legs out of the way, thrust his arm off and just keep you at arm's length. I think what Schofield has to do is change the way he's going about it and probably drive in a bit harder and lower.
Pearce. Dived on by Peter Ford. There's a replay of this little moment of the National Panasonic Cup final where Wayne Pearce, in a situation of desperation, unloaded the ball, but Parramatta coming up with it. Just looking at Ray Price in the back play, he's getting to each play a little bit slower each time, but I can assure you of one thing, they wouldn't get him off there with a crowbar. Lee Beater.
Sterling. Humphreys. Davidson. Well, Parramatta, of course, are looking a bye next weekend, and Balmain are looking at the rather awesome task of playing Canterbury. Suriname. Gale. And this will be a penalty where the ball landed. It's against Terry Leabeater, I believe, for taking Scott Gale out of it after he kicked it. Sterling and Leabeater, really, they both had a little go at him. Mosley off, and Sharp is on with 6 minutes of time to go. Bridge, a long ball. Schofield, a quick pass. It's gone to ground, and Gale is able to get up and go again. He'll nearly score. He will score. Oh, yes. Scott Gale, from a standing start, left them grasping at mid-air. Tremendous turn of acceleration, this lad. I realise the ball game is well and truly over. Have a look at the Foster's Lager replay. He has to pick this ball up from a standing start. Then he beats Brian Jackson. He's away from Ray Price. He left another couple looking at vacant space. He beats Steve Ella. But if ever they put them down over 25 metres and even over 100, he'll come up at a pretty good price, Scott Gale, but gee, he'll carry some of mine. 32-12 in favour of the Eels. Kick successful. Muggleton kicks off. You'll note that Peter Sterling will run straight down the middle of the ground, coming from behind the man who kicked off. Mainly shepherding the players, the attack back into one zone. This is Perry. Perry again. Hardwick, Hemsley, good quick passing. Humphreys juggling it and taking it to ground, 10 metres on his side of the halfway. Benny Elias, Gale. Elias again, and that's Perry. This is the last, Gale. And this will be another penalty against Mark Laurie this time.
He's copped 10 minutes in the spin bin for this one.
Well, that's the side on. Roberts has indicated, and that's what Bill's talking about. Roberts indicated a trip, and he has picked up the sin bin. Mark Laurie. It was done with a minimum of fuss by Roberts, and Mark Laurie given the latter part of the match in the sin bin. Pearce through to Schofield. Now it's Humphreys, and Humphreys is in the corner. 32 points to 16. But Humphreys scores Balmain's third try in what now is becoming a very high-scoring cup final. 48 points in the match coming after this try was laid on by Schofield and finished by Humphreys. Steve Humphreys, the try scorer in fact, that Christian brothers that you see there, I'm almost sure he went to Lewisham, who played in the cup final here tonight. Schofield from the touchline. Fight back by Balmain, reminiscent of Parramatta's brief comeback against Manly. Schofield's kick is well wide. No change, 32 points to 16 in favour of Parramatta. Most popular forecast in the footy tab from you people was 18 to 12. As Parramatta prepare to restart, let's take you to the sideline. Here's Graham Hughes with John Money.
John, I don't think you could have asked for a better one from the side.
Well, it was a great performance. Our Wednesday night football has been great. We've played the four-quarter football exceptionally well, and you know, we certainly had this game wrapped up at half-time or three-quarter time.
Yeah, well, there was a try against the run of play in that second quarter, but big performance from the forwards especially.
Yeah, well, the side always seemed to play well when Bugden's in the side. The players have got a lot of confidence in him, and being such a big guy, if he can string his games together, well, we can get the best out of him.
What were you thinking when those two early changes forced a bit of shuffling around? There was only, what, 3 forwards on the bench?
Well, it was certainly a problem with, you know, and he's a very good player, Ronnie Quinn, and we thought we had things covered, but as it turned out, we didn't. We've got a forward in Peter Wynn on the wing, and I think Ray Price is out there now, so, you know, it's been a great performance from the side.
You're also looking, just goes to show you how much the side misses a man like Steve Ella now, is that?
Well, he certainly can play the boy Ella, and it's good to see him get back amongst the tries. He missed one earlier, but he's picked a couple up, so it's great.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And there is the moment in history. Ray Price playing on the left wing for Parramatta. So we've got the two best lock forwards probably going around in the game. One playing 5'8" and the other playing wing.
Tell you what, with Price on the wing, he mightn't score many tries, but I don't think the person playing opposite him will either.
The only thing that Russ Gardner and Ray Price, who are looking eyeball to eyeball at each other at the moment, is in common is their age. Ray Price getting back here. Almost, I would think, saying, could somebody bring me a wheelchair? But I'm not leaving. This is Pearce, back for Benny Elias. 25 metres out by 32 points to 16. Before a crowd of probably around 17,000. For Parramatta, Bugden, he scored 1 try. Kenny 2, Wynn, Ella and Muggleton tries. And Eden kicked 4 goals. The Balmain points, Myler, Gale and Humphreys the tries, and Schofield kicked 2 goals. 32 to 16. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll be in a position to show you the cup ceremony, the presentation, and we'll do all of that together with the Man of the Match award in just a minute.
Bargains sweep out the door during Copperart's surplus stock liquidation. Platter poles liquidation price $9.95. 3-tiered platters liquidation price $9.95. This month only, incredible bargains during Copperart's surplus stock liquidation sale.
It's the last year for fireworks in New South Wales, and right now Wagga Liquidation Centre have an enormous range at some of the best prices in town. There's jumping jacks, singing birds, snowflowers, parachutes, Catherine wheels, sparklers and loads more. Buy them in packs. When you buy this 31-piece pack, you get this free. Buy these and get this pack free. You go into the 2 weekly draws for a $50 jumbo bag when you buy any fireworks bag. Don't miss out. It's your last chance. The Wagga Baseball Association, together with the Prime Network RVN2, present the Tooheys Intercity Baseball Challenge, June 7th, 8th and 9th. Represented will be Wangaratta, Canberra, Orange, Parkes, Wagga and Sydney. Play will commence from 9:30 a.m. each day at both Glenfield and Bruce Street grounds, and hot food and refreshments will be available. Enjoy a day out at the Tooheys Intercity Baseball Challenge, proudly brought to you by the Wagga Baseball Association, together with the Prime Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, the National Panasonic Cup champions for 1986, Parramatta, are now ready to climb the stairway for the presentation of the Cup and their individual trophies, and a cheque for $131,000. And here they come, the victorious Parramatta Eels, led by their captain, Ray Price. The cup will be presented by Mr. John McGuirk from National Panasonic, and the individual trophies will be presented by Mr. Tom Bellew, the chairman of the New South Wales Rugby League, and representing the New South Wales government, the Minister for Youth and Community Affairs, Mr. Peter Anderson. Ray Price taking his team up to the presentation area, met there by the club's #1 badge holder and their sponsor, Harry Hudson from James Hardy. Here's Ray coming along now to Mr. John McGuirk of National Panasonic, whose efforts in putting the cup together in recent years have been absolutely magnificent. Also at the presentation, Mr. Bob Condon, the New South Wales Sales Manager for National Panasonic, Mr. Ken Arthurson, the Chairman of the Australian Rugby League. I've mentioned Mr. Bellew, and also, of course, I've mentioned Mr. Peter Anderson. There's the cup, held aloft, and the cheque for $131,000. That's the second time Parramatta have had the honour of holding the cup aloft. The previous captain to do that was Ron Hilditch in 1980, when Ray Price was unable to play on that occasion. So he would really be savouring the thrills of this particular moment. Mike Eden called into the team tonight to hopefully solve the Parramatta goal-kicking problem, and there he is, Peter Sterling, with Peter Wynn and Terry Leabeater. The Eels of Parramatta take out the cup and take it away from its holder, Balmain, who, of course, were the defending champions tonight. Young Mick Delroy back on the dais. That's good news to see him back there. Recovered, I would think, from the concussion sufficiently enough. Jeff Bugden and John Muggleton, two of the stars here for them tonight, along with the zip-zip man, Steve Ella. And here's a moment that young Brian Jackson won't forget in a hurry. And of course, talking of cup finals and knowing something about scoring a couple of tries in cup finals and in grand finals, this man, Brett Kenny. He's done it at Wembley, he's done it at Leichhardt. Mark Laurie, one of the famous footballing family from the Warhope, Port Macquarie area, and Peter Ford, who as a second rower has been doing his duties on the wing in the last couple of weeks. And finally, Jeremy Lillis and Steve Sharp. And let's not forget Ron Quinn, who I believe has gone to hospital for x-rays for a suspected fracture of the leg. There's their coach coming along at the tail of proceedings, John Money, and what a magnificent job he's done with the Parramatta Eels to get them on this paddock tonight and in such machine-like form. I've now been handed the voting in the National Panasonic Man of the Match Award in tonight's Cup final, ladies and gentlemen. 1 point went to Peter Wynn, 2 points went to Brett Kenny, and 3 points, and man of the match again, Peter Sterling. And let me point out to you that prior to the match tonight, and so of course this announcement remains unchanged, the National Panasonic superstar couldn't be beaten. $20,000 worth of National Panasonic product richer is Mr. Ray Price.